Well, is this the end of TranzactCard and FinMore? That is the question I've been asking myself all weekend long after I was on some private Zooms and watched some private videos that have been going around. And I think that's the question that a lot of people have been asking now for several months at least. I hope to cover that in this video and more. It's Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO. Hope you guys are having a great start of your week. It's here on the island. It's beautiful. I'm at my favorite little spot, Cafe 180 here on the Emerald Coast. And it's a quiet morning. We are only at 40% capacity here on the island versus about 75 like last week. But I want to dig into the past, the present, and the future of FinMore, TranzactCard, whatever we want to call them. We've been covering this now for close to a year, I believe, maybe a little less than that. And when I look at it, if we look at their past, it's been an uphill battle. The original founders of Transact had colorful backgrounds. They'd had a lot of tech failures and successes, but they had continued to try to do something without much success. But they thought one last time, let's go about this. And Peter Rancie, who seems to be the financial money behind this, outside of what they take in from other people, he had a mission to take on the banking industry. And that's what really piqued my curiosity, because I remember one of my mentors, Art Williams, took on the life insurance industry. The difference is Art had a personal reason for doing it. I'm not sure that Peter does, or especially any of those people around him did. So they started to flounder very early on. They weren't able to deliver. They hyped up the opportunity. They talked about how you could be a franchise in a banking, a non-banking. It got really weird, to be quite honest. And people were out there saying, well, we're selling a banking franchise for $495. And then it was called a digital bank owner. And then it was called digital branch office. All the marketing, not necessarily from the company. I want to be very clear about this. But this is the stuff that was going on. And sure enough, real quickly, banks and financial institutions started to distance themselves. And then I felt very good because they brought in a fintech compliance team to clean up everything. And very quickly, I think the fintech team realized, well, if we're going to do this, it's going to cost a lot of money, because we've got to do KYC on this database, because there's been several databases poured into one, and there's not fresh KYC. Some of it didn't have KYC at all. It was a cluster, which made me wonder, well, who was in the background guiding these folks? Who was supposed to be the legal person that was telling them what to do from the inside out, and how ignorant to the laws were they? And I don't mean they're stupid, don't get me wrong, but a lot of times legal eagles are good at one thing, they're not good at everything. And I thought, man, there's just been a cluster here. You know, why did they fire the compliance team that actually knew what was going on? Why did they get rid of the second compliance team? Why did they get rid of some of their executives that actually knew the network marketing business? So it was just a chaos. But yet I still believed, based on conversations I had with inside people, that, hey, this is a big mission. It's a mission that takes time. It's a technology play, so definitely there's going to be hiccups. And then they brought in one of my dear friends and someone that I work closely with, Brent Standing, is the CTO, and he was putting a team of people together that were smart, and they were going to do something. And then all of a sudden that fell apart, and we went from TranzactCard closing down but supposedly honoring refunds to FinMore, with one of my other friends, Malin Campbell, coming in with one of her people to try to clean the ship up, and it's just on to where it brings us now to the present, where executives have left. And then this weekend I was given the privilege of being on some private Zooms, and I was sent some private videos of people saying we're done, we're leaving. We believe that maybe if the company has long enough runway, they will succeed, but we need to put money in people's pockets. We made promises that have not been delivered. And then I found out that there's refunds that haven't been paid back, even though they were told refunds would be paid. And that's a problem right there. If somebody has stopped believing in you, if somebody says, I just want my money back, then you should not have spent all the money. You should be able to give them their money back. That's just the right thing to do, because if you hurt enough people and you take from enough people, then they will find an attorney and they will file a class action lawsuit, or they'll go to regulators, and it's all because somebody's dreams didn't get fulfilled. And sometimes it is the executive, sometimes it's the financiers, but this is part of life. You have to have a contingency plan to make this work. So where do I think the future is going to be? That's the key. Where is FinMore? What is the potential? They're going to need deep pockets, is what they're going to need to have the long runway that they're going to need now that people have started to exit the business. And maybe these folks are only going to exit the income opportunity side of this. Maybe they'll continue on as members and be paying whatever the membership fee is. Maybe eventually debit cards from a bank will get to be delivered. Maybe this new program where any credit card will work, and maybe that will be exciting enough for them to make it happen. I don't know. That's the problem with trying to figure out the future. What you do know is that it's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a long runway to make this work, because this company doesn't have any proprietary technology, if you will. They've got to rely on third-party people. They got to rely on banks. They got to rely on processors. They've got to rely on crypto. They got to rely on a third-party education company, third-party travel portals. Whatever it is, it's all third-party. So really the company is just a marketing technology platform, if you will, for lack of a better word. So we've got to find this out. They're going to have to make sure that their data is fully KYC before any financial institution is really going to do long-term business with them. So the question is, will they do KYC, or is this database just full of people that wanted to make a quick buck? I don't know that. But obviously, based on past, we know that the KYC hasn't worked fully, because lots of people have quit, lots of people have left, lots of people did not do KYC. They've got to stop spinning the story. They've got to be willing to go forward and say, this is where we fell short. This was our hiccups. This is the strategy where we thought we had it down, but we didn't. This is what makes giant companies successful, whether they're Southwest Airlines, Disney, Microsoft, Apple, it doesn't matter. Tylenol. When a company flounders, when there's a problem, you don't try to spin it, you don't try to cover it up, none of that. If there's a communication marketing person telling them that, then they're lying to them. Okay, then that person really doesn't know what they're talking about, because we live in a post-trust era where you have to be honest, you have to be straightforward. They're going to have financial institutions who will do business with them. They're going to have to be able to build that trust, or in some cases build trust back. I've said in the past, before I close, and I'll say it again, I see the vision that was here by Peter Rancie as one that's big. You're wanting to bring banking to the underbanked, or the non-banked, if you will. You want to give them the same opportunity that middle America or the affluent America has, and then maybe to the whole world. I can commend them on that. Art Williams had that passion when he launched A.L. Williams and took on the insurance industry, but here's what he had. He had life insurance companies that said, this is a war worth fighting, and we're willing to go to battle with you. You could be like Legal Shield, who was the prepaid legal at the time. They took on the legal industry, but they had attorneys that were willing to fight with them to say, yes, we need to make legal services available for middle America. We got to be able to do this. That works. You could be an EXP Realty who says, look, we're going to stop making the broker the hero. We're going to make the agents the hero. And you go out there and you take on and you flip an industry upside down. All of this is possible. The question is it probable? I don't know that. So if you're going to stay with FinMore and transact, buckle under, be prepared, take time, focus. Don't expect it all to happen overnight, because it won't happen overnight. There's no way at all. My professional belief is that if they do not pay back legitimate refunds that are needed to pay back, if Peter Rancie doesn't have probably $3 to $5 million to really put into this and do it right, if he doesn't have strategic partners that are willing to come alongside of them and do this right, then this company will become one of many hundreds of thousands maybe that had great ideas and never finished. You know, I don't have a problem with the tension. Tension is good. It's like a rubber band. Rubber band only works if there's tension. But the problem is when the tension goes too far, there's a breaking point, and then it's useless for everyone. So you figure out where you need to be. You figure out what you need to do. As for me, I believe that this company right here has potential, but it's going to take a lot more than what they've done so far. And looking at the last year or so, I would say they need a whole brand new focus, a whole brand new vision, a whole brand new outlook to make this work. They will not be able to do it with the old team. They will not be able to do it with the old philosophy. They will not be able to do it with their old marketing. They have to be willing to say, look, we're willing to do things the way we need to do it in a post-trust era in order to win the confidence and the loyalty of those people that we're trying to serve. Stay dangerous, stay strong, and if you're a Main Street entrepreneur, act like it.